Yo.
What's going on, people?
There you go. Uh, Wednesday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's been a weird week, bro. It's like with, kids home, you know what I'm saying? Just trying to, but you still got to go to work. You know what I mean? But they're still hungry, so it's just a weird week, bro. But how's your week been, bro?
It's been smooth, man. I ain't gonna lie. As chaotic as February has been, it's still been smooth. Um, just packing patience every day and making sure I prepare for every day as much as I can, man.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Wasn't
Just,
prepared for that snow this past Friday though. That one caught me off guard.
bro, I ain't gonna lie. Although it snowed, it was the prettiest, cutest snow that I've ever had in a long time. Like as far as it being fluffy and like easy to move. You know what I mean? Wasn't too backbreaking. You know what I'm saying? I did appreciate that if there was any bright side to it.
I hate you.
He said,
my
nah.
man said,
He said,
my
nah,
man said,
nah.
my
So
man
fuck
said
that
the
snow.
cutest snow ever. Oh, all right, that's the first I heard that.
It was like it felt fake snow, honestly. Like it was a little too easy to get off the car. Oh,
I hate. All right.
yeah, Wednesday, man. Can't complain too
Oh
much.
man, but
Can't
yes,
complain.
man. It is Wednesday. It is that time. Just gonna share this with a couple people, get them to tune in. Um, yeah, I agree with you. This week also felt like the slowest week ever, and we had a day off, and so it's odd to me. I don't know what it was.
Well, I didn't get a day off, but I do understand for those that did happen to have a they were staying home on Monday. That wasn't my week, unfortunately. Oh, if you can see me, you were freezing up.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Oh shit. Oh, yeah, for those watching, you can also go catch them on other streaming sites, on all the other ones too. But if you're here already, don't leave yet. You good though? Your video going in now, bro.
Hold up,
You
I might
losing me.
have to do a switcheroo on my side.
Oh shit. I was like, is he there? Technical difficulties for the Freedom FCP crew, but we still here. If you're in the chat already, we appreciate you. Uh, went mute. He'll be back. Yeah, he frozen. I'm gonna have to come back.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Is this the same setup?
Oh, like you can still hear though? Oh, there you go. He coming back. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't know if you could hear me or not. I was trying to. I don't know why you're not moving on my screen. I don't know if you're there. Shit. But you're all here so far. Oh, shit, my man gone. He'll be back. He'll be back, y'all. He'll be back in 2 seconds. But it's still Wednesday, long week. Let us know what you did though, man. If like you said, you're working off the Cricket mobile Wi-Fi. Nah, he got the good stuff. He got the good stuff. But today's of the dad series, we're gonna be going through a couple things as far as mommy's baby, Papa's crazy. We ain't gonna say Papa's maybe. We're not gonna do that today. We're not here. We're here to celebrate our moms, as always. But should be dope, man. The Father series has been people been talking about it for a while, so hopefully you like tonight's episode too. Also, if you haven't yet, episode 69, Real Relationships, episode 70, that's out. We'll see those on YouTube, all the other DSPs, like visuals and network and shit. You know what I mean? But my man.
All right.
I was just like, yeah, so, sometimes, you know what I'm saying? The bathroom breaks. we'll be right back. But you ain't missed nothing. You ain't missed nothing, broski. Couldn't get started without you, so.
My bad, y'all. My bad. I promise y'all it's paid, man. I paid my shit on time. I don't know what's happening.
Speaking of paid, like, this is a quick side story before we get into it. Like, fucking Spectrum, right? They cut my phone off. I'm calling them. I'm like, yo, what's up? They're like, oh, you got to pass the due bill. You should pay it. I was like, all right, cool. I hang up. Go to my car. All my cards locked. I'm paranoid, right? So I'm trying to unlock my card, but turn my phone off. I ain't got no internet connection to get into my banking app to unlock my card. So I call them back. I'm like, yo, I need like 5 minutes. I need like 5 minutes of connection so I can pay y'all. They're like, yeah, we can't really do that. Like, you got to pay it. I was like, I want to pay it, but I can't pay it because my car's locked. You know what I mean? It's like, could you borrow a car from a friend? I said, bitch, I'm on a ferry. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I had to wait till I got all the way to work, get some Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? I was able to work it through the Wi-Fi finally. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, get 45 minutes with no phone, man. That was tight.
Well, I know how you feel, man. I was actually 24 hours without a phone because I made sure that I packed up the whole family and everything they had, only to get home, park my car, and be like, I had nothing.
And Shay, I want to apologize in advance because I was looking for my phone, right? And I was looking. And then I saw the iPhone. I was like, damn, Shay must have left the phone. All right, let me call Sean. So Jen told me look for my phone. I call Sean. I'm calling you, right? And she's like, how's his phone ringing? I'm like, what phone? She's like, Shay. I'm like, Shay's phone? I'm like, no, I'm calling. Oh man. And not that I wasn't mad before, but now I'm just like, damn, they got my man. Like I was like, you gotta call Shay, man. Tell him whatever he's looking for, it ain't there, man. It was hilarious though. But happy you got it back, man. That the personal assistant on your hip is rough.
Yo, bro, like it was funny when I got home and I parked the car. I can't find my phone. I'm like, all right, maybe by some grace of God, Shay picked it up out the little cup holder and she's got it. But the whole walk home, bro, it was like I felt like one of them old 90s R&B videos where they're just walking in the rain and they sing it. Because I as hopeful as I was, I had this feeling that shit is still a Staten Island, man. Like she ain't got it. Yo, when I got home, I looked everywhere. I didn't even say that. Yeah, I just looked everywhere and I didn't see it. I was like,
that's when it clicked. That's when it hit. It's just like, damn, I really ain't got my shit.
Yo, man. But she loved it.
I can't hold you. Once I told you, I was like, he's gonna be back here in about 40 minutes. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just assumed like you'd be like, yo, get upstairs, man. I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? But when it came, I was like, he ain't come back. I was like, nah. I was like, I went to work, came back. It's like, he ain't come back. I was like, what? I was like, he must have been reaching in his pocket all day.
Yeah, forget about it. It was the best 24 hours of my wife's life. She had all my attention, everything.
He said, so what you cooking now? That's what's up, man. That's what's up. It's good. It's good to detach sometimes. Definitely.
It's definitely good to detach, man. Because last week it was the funniest shit in the world. I'm watching a reel that somebody sent me, and I laugh and I crack up, and she cracks up too. But then she starts looking at me funny, and she's like, "Who sent you that?" And so I tell her who sent it to me. And she was like, "See, that's bullshit because I sent that to you 2 weeks ago."
Ooh.
Yeah, man. I got caught real cheating.
Oh no, man! If you didn't see episode 69, go catch that. We go through all the rules and parameters of this real relationship, man. You can't be doing that. Gotta remember to read the room, baby.
It was so funny. Like I wouldn't lie. You know what I'm saying? That would have just caused more issues. But I was just like, shit. Because so some people like they send me a lot of reels, man, and I can't keep up. Like to honest to God, I can't keep up. And a lot of times, because she's in close proximity, I'll hear whatever happens in whatever reel that she watches. So I'm already in tune. But then she's like, nah, you gotta watch it. I'm like, I should have watched it while you was watching it. I can't watch it now. I know what's gonna happen. The visuals may add something, but I ain't got time now. It's already registered. But yeah, that was funny, man. I had to share that here.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
All right, let's see who's tuning in real quick. We got Mrs. Lee SKL. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Friday was fun. It was cool. We got Fabe tuning in from YouTube. What up, Fabe? We got High Life over on Instagram. We got Diamond Ape. What's good, homeboy? Everybody tuning in, man. So listen.
Oh man.
You good?
Oh, always.
Oh, okay. So it's been a long month so far. Shortest month ever, as far as always February, but it's been a long fucking month.
Mm-hmm.
What's your ideal situation? And if you're tuning in right now, let us know in the chat. What is your ideal situation when you come home after a long day from work?
It goes one of two ways. On a perfect day, very long day, just can get out the inbox, so to speak. Get to come home and let the smell of food hit the door. I'm a foodie, as you know, unfortunately. It's a calming sense. You know what I'm saying? When you come home, nobody's in the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? You can go straight there if you need to. You smell some food cooking, everybody just doing what they're supposed to do. That'd do it for me. That's all I really need them to day if I could, in a perfect world. And I get that, 3 out of 5 times out the week, so I ain't too mad. Mm-hmm. What about you? What's your perfect, your ideal situation, so to speak, coming home from a long day?
Ideally, man, if it's one of those nights where we just got a couple of shows we didn't watch yet, could sit down, have dinner, just spend some alone time watching some quality shows. Maybe we can force our son to spend some time with us because now he feels like he's a whole grown man. You know what I mean? And if I could slip a good parlay win in to close the night out, that's an ideal day for me after a long day.
4-leg parlay ain't shabby. After a long day at work, like, yeah, that'll hit. I should clear about it. I like that. That's dope. Mm-hmm. Like, it was funny. When before a couple of years ago, a lot with me and my wife, I was taking a buffer time, like before I came home. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was just more so, like, yeah, I'm just taking the long way home, like hopping on the highway and didn't need to. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just opening up the window, just getting some breeze, just getting some. She's like, well, it took you so long to come home. It's just like, just needed a minute. Like, what do you mean? She's like, I just wanted some time between clocking out and clocking in. You know what I mean? I just felt like, you know what I mean? That it was, and then she looked at me like, clocking in? Like, what's that mean? I'm like, oh, no. Not like this is a job. Like, I was just like,
clocking in.
I was like, damn, this sounds crazy when you say it out loud. I didn't think it was, you know what I mean? But the hustle, the homework, the showers for the kids, you got to get it done. You know what I'm saying? So she was just like, oh, she's like, I'll do my buffer time too, but I'm not coming back to work. This is a place I want to be. I was like, I want to be here too. You know what I'm saying? But it just didn't work out in my favor, and I was trying to explain it. So I was hoping that you can help me next time for a better explanation. Like, when you're going home, you're not clocking in, but there's a new role you need to play. You're no longer Sean. Now you're dad. Now you're husband. Now you know what I mean? You gotta adjust to these roles. Like, is there a switch on? Do you turn it on and off?
Nah, man. Sometimes I just walk in and I don't say nothing to nobody. I would love to tell you I walk in and I just go, hey guys, nah, man. Depending on what I've been through right before I walked in the house, I could literally walk past everybody, love them to death, and not say a damn word to them. I'll be there taking off my suit, and she'll be like, "How was your day?" I'll be like,
"You see, like, I was trying to avoid that by taking a buffer time. Like, I just take the long way around the block. It's like, why'd you park so far? No reason. just strolling, just slow strolling all the way to the house, just like. Now you gotta turn it on.
And I kid you not, probably like after I've sat down, maybe had like 2 bites of food, I'll start talking to her like nothing happened. She'll be like, "Oh, you cool now?"
So you are taking your buffer time. You just don't tell them. You do it. You do it in their face. That's what it is. Okay, I was doing it behind their back. See, that's what's up. That's what's up. I respect that. I get it. You still have your buffer though.
Yeah,
it's good, Steve. Oh man.
Yes, yes. All right, we got a good amount of people over on IG. Shout out to Nola D joining us. Lynn, what up, Lynn? CC Media, man. Great time.
High life always good. You see, you said buffer time is necessary.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Now here's the funny part, right? So, oh wait, Fabe Soul from YouTube. He said, "Me and my wife had this discussion the other day. We find it funny when people need a minute to decompress before they go in the house. I mean, we just love being home, smoke something and chill, get dinner ready." See, man, you see, it's couples like that where you're like, man, nobody want to hear that shit. Nobody want to hear that shit. We gotta prove our love every night. Make sure you go catch episode 70. You know what I'm saying?
every night. Oh man. But,
yeah.
It's fun. Like people do that. Like when they get to the driveway and turn the engine off, you don't reach for the door handle as fast as you used to. Like, you know what I'm saying? You just kind of just. You know what I mean? Get through it.
Yeah, man. So I got another question for you, man. What would you do? We all got that person at work that's just a pain in the ass. You probably got several pains in the ass. If you do, I feel sorry for you. But what would you do if the work pain in the ass started dating your sibling?
I've never cock blocked in my life. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The hate I would be spewing into my siblings' ear about this counterpart at the work. I'm like, yo, a nigga be eating boogers and all kinds of shit, big. Don't talk to him. He crazy. Like, you know what I mean? He be eating leftovers from a week ago and shit. Like, I'll be all under the bus. I'll throw him all under the bus. Can't have it. Hell no. I can't be at Thanksgiving and this nigga show up. What? What? I'm trying to avoid all that early, bro. How would you deal with it? Like, would you let it ride? Would you press them? Would you press them?
Oh, they get fired. Hands down, they get fired, bro. Like, I'm starting the only conspiracy at the job. And if I got to deal with you in my personal life and you a pain in the ass, I can't deal with you at work too, man. That's too much. That's too much.
I had to, now. If you had if this was someone like somebody under you that you could fire, you would do so outright.
I mean, no, that would be stupid. I gotta.
No, not wait. I mean, you're fine. You know, you'll.
Yeah.
Point where you got to fire this nigga. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta finagle the bagel. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta.
Now here's the twist. Now, what if like it was a boss of yours dating a sibling?
He getting fired too, man. I'm claiming harassment. I'm claiming something. Systematic racism. I don't know.
She touched me inappropriately at the water fountain. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Oh my god.
I would be like, he said if I like my coffee black. I was like, you racist.
You racist. Where's HR when I need him? Oh shit, that's funny. That's a good one.
We got some stuff over here on IG. That's a whole other role to play from 9 to 5 to 6 to 10 from High Life. That's for sure. But hold up, some A types be cool as hell outside the night. You're right. That is true. I've seen some people at work. They piss you off. They probably shouldn't be in that role that they in. But you meet them at the happy hour. They cool as shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That is true.
D said, if I had a brother, I'd be scared for him. That pain in the ass is big and scary.
Oh shit. You like that. Like, you don't want that smoke. You don't want that smoke.
That's right. Moment of silence.
It's
Oh
fun.
God. So I mean, a lot of stuff, we're gonna get into NBA All-Star recap, man. But speaking of NBA, Kevin Durant, man, he has a verse on Stolly's new track, Scared Money. Did you hear it?
Actually, I did. Your KD's not trash. Like you know what I'm saying? Right? like
Right?
I like when you have an elite skill that you're known for, people kind of it's weird, it sucks, but we kind of put you in that box. It's like, yo, you're a great basketball player. I don't want nothing else from you. Like, just keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? But when they step into another lane, it's like, damn, you just overly talented. You just do this on your there's a spare time in the 80 game season because you usually go to the playoffs too. Like, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. Him and Dame, they might have to do like a joint mixtape. I don't know if they both get to the finals or something. Like that'd be super dope.
That's a fact. That's a fact, man. I agree with you, man. The flow was smooth. He had the signature KD look, and I think it was the right beat, right artist that he was featured with. Yo, man, I'm ready for more KD music, man. If this is where he's at, I need a couple more features first before I'm ready for like a full song from him. Just to make sure this isn't a one and done. Some college shit.
Might be.
So yeah, man, I'm interested.
And if I'm not mistaken, he had a couple of EP credits on like the Drake album and another album or two. I'm just like, he kind of shows up when I'm not looking for him. Because I'm like, is there another Kevin Durant that happens to be producing things? Like, you know what I mean? Helping out with tracks from Drake? Because it can't be the Kevin Durant that I know. I
Right.
was just assuming that, you know what I mean? But yeah, if he's in the studio, like taking notes from Drake as far as how to put a song together and all that, he's in good hands. He's in good hands. Not
Yeah.
mad
Yeah. CC said KD a rapper now. Why
at
he
that.
was cheesing. Yo, why he was
Mm.
cheesing at Young Miami. Anybody saw that hug, man? What'd you think of that?
It was like he definitely had that "Yo, where my hug" face. I didn't want. I was really wishing Katie didn't have that face to give, but he showed it in like 4K. he's like, he's like, "Yo, where my hug at?" Like, you know what I mean? And she's like, "Oh, you KD." He's like, "You knew that." You know what I mean? So it was a moment. You know what I mean? But hopefully he got out of there with the rapping hands. He got out of there.
Yeah, man. I mean, hey, listen, man. So we all fan out at some point. You know what I'm saying? It was Young Miami. You know what I mean? And we know KD love the ladies, man. So who knows?
I mean, who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah, I don't think the
So
record is going away. He could scoop her.
hey, listen, man. He got the rap credits now. Maybe this will be his angle to get in there, man.
Ain't mad at that. Not mad at that at all, neither.
Definitely, definitely.
Mm.
So anybody who tuned in last week, man, shout out to Ray stopping by from Good Shepherd Services to talk about the great work that they're doing. Shout out to everybody who showed love on all the clips and all the episode last week. Hopefully you're tuning in again this Wednesday. Um, Recently articles are talking about the DEI decline. You've heard us talk about this several times on the show. And this article was actually talking about IED versus DEI. And basically it's diversity, equity, and inclusion backwards. If you heard or you didn't hear, last year around June 2023, affirmative action was removed, meaning any particular affirmative action initiatives, youth pathway programs, educational programs, or opportunities to get into schools or jobs have been removed where you use the word race. So right now, all diversity programs are under attack. And while there is no fear of diversity going away completely, organizations, institutions, and anybody who's pretty much a diversity advocate has have to find ways to creatively keep this work going. So
Hmm.
this article talks about if you put inclusion and equity first, you kind of drive home a point where this is for everybody if you talk about inclusion. So do you want to not provide a service or a program that is equitable to everyone? And you see
Hmm.
me slip into equity after that, right? Now
Mhm.
that we have this program, we have this new resource, we have this new opportunity, is it equitable to everyone? Right. And I always like to talk about the simplistic definition of equity. We all want water right now, but I like mine with ice. You like yours in a straw. Somebody else might want theirs in a glass, maybe lukewarm. That's equity, meeting everybody where they're at, giving them things that they need in the way they can feel most beneficial. So it was an interesting twist on it, but some people who are really deep in this work, they are kind of concerned because they feel like diversity is being deflated. So
It's funny. It's funny how optics can really change the perception of something. Because
right.
I assume them flipping it, diversity kind of meaning divide, then money, then including everybody. As far as DEI, the way it's normally said, understood. But when you start a divide or diversity, so to speak, people kind of might get a weird look at the issue instead of just facing it head on. You know what I mean? So now if they put it on the back end, like you just said,
You can say
deflating
it,
it.
brother. White people. You can say it.
Over from 95, brother. Just don't be slipping after 5. I don't know how to turn it off automatically.
You can say it.
But, but when they start off with the inclusion part, it wants to seem as if there's a gathering, there's a grouping, there's a summer of calm before we get to the money. And then once we get to the money, then we can start diversifying. You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants that first. We need to diversify first. Then we can start talking about some money. And then after that, once we're all happy, now we can all be happy as a group. But coming to group before the money, before I even got the job, I don't like all those operations at all. I don't like that.
Yeah, because I mean, I totally get it. I'm all for finding the best way to deliver a message. But there's still concerns out there that this is just the typical way of just putting a mask over the real issue to make everyone feel comfortable again. And you can slowly see us taking those steps backwards to making the dominant people happy.
You hit it on the head. Oh man, you said that was from Barbara Warren?
Yeah, she's actually a really, really good advocate that I work with, man. She's really good. The article isn't from her, but she shared it with me.
It's really more so giving you the medicine through the candy kind of thing. But all right, only thing D is still capital pause. We got to get the job. But quick backtrack on the weekend, man. All-star recap, bro. Talk to me, man. Because out the gate, like the bright court. Did you see it? Fuck me up.
Yeah, I did. It definitely fucked me up at first too, but I see the vision, trying to catch up with technology. So yeah, I saw it.
It was dope though. Like they kind of they did the 3-point line, the 4-point line for the little activities and shit. But it was my man T even talking about we got to bring LED courts to the island. I was like, yeah, a lot of capital. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the idea is dope. But outside of the court, I think the highlight of the weekend, outside of the regular Sunday game, Steph and Sabrina, bro. Like, thank God for them and them wanting to do that, because a lot of everything else that was happening on Saturday was kind of trash. But out of the 3-point shootout, who do you think benefited more from it? Steph kind of keeping the reins, or Sabrina with the WNBA on her back?
I think that the NBA benefited the most. I would have loved to say, and the NBA and Sabrina. The NBA benefited because if there was anybody who felt a way about the NBA not supporting the WNBA, they probably won them over with this event. And then Sabrina, if there was anybody in the NBA who's an NBA fan that didn't know who Sabrina was by any chance, they know who she is now. I feel like during this moment, or even throughout the weekend, they could have probably done more promotion for the WNBA itself to really, really help get the word out about them. I mean, their season starts in another 2-3 months. This would have been a really cool time to plug in, the importance of supporting them. I know they had some of them doing like some interviews throughout the day, throughout the weekend. But yeah, I definitely say Sabrina in the NBA. Adam Silver is having himself a hell of a season right now between the play-in, in-season tournament, and now this. I mean, the guy, it just shows you why he keeps getting these extensions. He's good.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
A couple things he needs to tweak though for next year. We'll get to that towards the end of this. But was there anybody that kind of stole the spotlight for you this weekend?
Oh, I think it was Dame Dollar. I mean, aside from Big Glow shooting a shot at him, you know what I'm saying? Glorilla, shout to Glorilla.
Get your wife and kids. I'm glow, baby. I'm like, damn, that's real.
Well, remember, he's recently divorced. Oh, he filed for divorce, I believe. So glow's timing.
Oh, glow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was Dame Dollar's weekend, man. He won the 3-point shootout. I think he dropped like 26 to win. All-Star MVP, dropped 39 points. My only thing with this is, will it transfer over into the season?
Hopefully it's like a little pick-me-up. Because between, the whole coaching change and slump a bit after the change, maybe they needed that break to kind of regroup, refresh, reorganize, get a better game plan going into the last half of the season. But how many games you need for you to feel it's transferred over? You need game one out the gate to be crazy, or maybe the first 5 games, like a steady increase?
First game out the gate. He's got to be locked in. Show us the Dame that we saw over the All-Star weekend. We know the defense is different. We know it's a different atmosphere, but it's got to be from game one. Now, it's dope because I'm looking over in the IG chat. We did not get to talk about Mr. CB, Chris Brown, and him being allegedly removed from the celebrity game. And I'm also seeing, it turns out Gilly, I'm assuming they mean Gilly the Kid, was also snubbed from the celebrity game.
Oh, yeah. The media mogul update me right now in the chat. She said Chris was about to play, but Ruffles said they didn't want him to play. I guess they were sponsoring. But then Ruffles said, nah, we ain't say that. Chris over there probably fully dressed, like I can't get no burn. Jesus. I think I get that right.
Oh man. Do we dare say, we know where this is coming from, or do we just leave it out there for speculation? I feel you, man. We ain't gotta talk about it.
You know what I mean? It's like I don't even like Ruffles like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a wise man. Lays kind of do, but it's like I don't know. I don't know if Chris is ever gonna get over that. It's Chris Brown, huh? That's crazy. Because I thought he got over it, but he's not there. Another thing with I said Doc Rivers, he got caught over All-Star weekend on a Sirius XM radio joint. It was like, he said, so how'd you feel about getting a Milwaukee job? He goes, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit confused when the owners called me. I didn't understand why me. Why you think I'm the guy to get you where you gotta go? And it's like, well, we're kind of too late now. We called you, and so want you. So what's up? Like, you know what I mean? It was really shooting that shot with a big bag, and Doc definitely dropped his drawers. He was on the sideline, like, all right, so what we're not winning nothing. Like, like I said, hey, hopefully All-Star break, help everybody out and they can move on, man. We'll see.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
But as far as next year, do you think there's anything Adam Silver needs to focus on to make this weekend better?
I think, everybody's saying the same thing, man. I think a one-on-one tournament would be cool. You know what I'm saying? A couple dribbles, and then you got to shoot. I think that'd be interesting. I don't know. I feel like and I heard this too, the All-Star game should have some implications on your seeding, or even, if you make it to the finals. You know what I mean? Like, just like the in-season tournament. And I think it should have some incentive to make people really want to go hard for the All-Star game. What I'm really disappointed about is the dunk contest. That used to be the highlight of every All-Star weekend. I feel bad for this generation. I really do, for several reasons, but for the simple fact that they probably will never see a really good dunk contest.
Nah, they probably won't. And Jaylen Brown, just want to talk about, pissed me all the way off. Shannon Sharp hit on the head, like he's jumping over a short dude sitting down. But like jumping over is one thing, he's a celebrity, I get it, but the whole covering your eye after the dunk, I was like, was he trying to do that like a blind dunk and forgot to cover his eyes?
Yo,
like that's what got me. I was like, he's just all the way fucking up. I'm like, and I'm in my head, they gotta give him like a combined 24. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's still in the 40s. I'm like, I don't even know how's this being graded. Like, you know what I mean?
I'd have disqualified him. I like at some point, if Dr. J should have came out and said, "No, fuck out of here."
It threw me all the way off, man. I was like, you got legends in the building. Like every seat in the first 5 rows is cake. Everybody spent money to watch this. You out here doing fake blind dunks over short widgets. I'm like, yeah. Whatever, bro.
Man. I think Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon have cursed the dunk contest because since then we haven't seen anything close to it.
I really make good sense. Last one with the dunk. I know I'm gonna catch you off the spot with this one. You had a dream lineup of who could go next year. Who would you have? That's currently playing, of course.
Dunk contest?
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with. Oh man, yeah, you're catching me because I know who I know who I'd like to see, but I don't know his name. I know he plays for Portland. He's got an afro. He jumps out the gym. I think he'd be excellent for the dunk contest. Oh God, I think Anthony Edwards would be good because I think he's a very vicious dunker. And I think he would really be good. I remember, what was it, either his rookie or his second year, he was trying to dunk on everybody, and he almost did. John Morant, we got to get him back. We got to get him back healthy first. I think John Morant will be the new age superstar that hopefully revives the dunk contest. And of course, Mac McClung. I mean, he's made himself a staple right now.
2 years right now.
yeah, and from the G League, so I'm not mad at him, man. You know what I'm saying? If anything, now start going into the G League. These NBA dudes don't want to dunk. Go give these other dudes opportunity. Maybe the winner gets a 10-day contract. I don't know. Make it interesting.
I think you named everybody I would have had. High Life mentioned Malik Monk also. But I think only person, if he could lose another 10, 15 pounds, I think I'd like to see Zion in there, bro. Like I ain't really see him explosive since his foot exploded. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I would like to, you know what I mean? I would like to him to have a get back. You know what I mean? Let him know I'm fake back, something. Like, you know what I mean? But that'd be dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah. Yeah, High Life says shout out to Stern for allowing the G Leaguers. Yeah, man. For sure,
Right.
for sure. Yeah, when the dudes that got it ain't holding it down, you go to the ones that ain't got it, the ones that are hungry. You know what I mean? To keep the other guys on their toes, man. For real.
Exactly. Some way to do it. Some way to do it.
So Wembanyama had on a really interesting coat, man. So talk to me about your man's outfit.
Listen, what is he? 8'1"? How tall is he? The boy's tall. Like, he can't run in the target like the rest of us real fast. If we spill something on a shirt, just grab something and go. Everything's custom down. You got to get tailored up for everything you need for it to look like it fits. But he was named the newest ambassador for Louis Vuitton over the weekend, and they dipped him out. He had some fly shit on. Like, you know what I'm saying? He had it on, but I was just like, I just don't know when these rookies, these future superstars are to have the time to do this. Like, I just don't know how they do it. Like, their time management skills is A1. But what was your thoughts when you was heard Victor Wembanyama became the newest ambassador over at Louis Vuitton?
That might be the most expensive thread count ever. Like that's instantly what I thought. I was like, the person who had to make this was probably like, shit. They thought
making sure that's the back. You sure?
Yo, they started making. I remember when they probably were making Shaq's clothes and sneakers. They thought that was it, and then this guy came.
He's a tall 8'1".
Yo, CC said he had on the LV Jermaine Dupri socks too.
And his socks need extra material. He's like a size 22. Like he's not putting on the average large Louis sock. Like, you know what I'm saying? Everything's custom.
Yeah, that shit was probably like a arm sleeve for somebody in high school, man. Like that's real. But yeah, that's what I thought of it. But it was hot. It was dope. I mean, Louis doesn't disappoint. I didn't expect him to disappoint at all, man. So the same day as NBA All-Star Saturday, I believe it was UFC 298. and I'm only just going to focus on the main event because if you tuned into episode 70, I spoke about what would be the most ideal gift that my wife could give me. And I said it would be a UFC fight. And in the lineup was Alexander Volkanovski.
Mhm.
Well, Volkanovski this Saturday ran into Ilia Topuria, aka El Matador, and got knocked out. It hurt me to the core to see my guy Alex go down. But Topuria is no joke, man. He's 15-0 now. He's the new featherweight champion. His next opponents could include the likes of Conor McGregor and some other people in the featherweight division, but it hurts to see your guys go down. It reminds me of when Ronda Rousey went down in the way she did, and
I
that
remember Roy
still
Jones
that
going
still
down with
sticks with me to this day.
yeah, Roy Jones stuff too.
Mhm.
And finding out your man's got a glass jaw, or finding out she could get choked out is just weird.
You know what? I would have preferred she got choked out, man. She got kicked and it just went down from there, man. That was terrible.
Oh shit!
I was like, protect your face, girl. Protect your face. It didn't work.
Yeah,
It didn't work.
these gotta hurt. Oh,
Oh man. All right. What she said, not to pause the IG runs to y'all YouTube channel. Oh.
shit. Be like that. Be like that. IG, I mean, YouTube running smooth as hell.
Yeah, YouTube is good, man. YouTube is good. If y'all want to come over to the YouTube channel, make that switch. All right. So last on the sports tip, Dawn Staley, the head coach of South Carolina women's basketball team, breaks the record for consecutive wins, 43. Officially the best in the business, man. Shout outs to her. Just dope, man. Just doing dope things, man.
Doing dope thing. I still want one of the varsity jackets she had from last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it's hard. I don't know who's doing her jacket. Them shit is hard.
Yeah, man. All right. So for this segment, we're gonna switch on over to I am not a doctor, people. I just play one on FCP. So first off, I'm gonna talk about Cigna. I don't know if any of you people have Cigna out there, but they are offering discount access for meal kit services to HelloFresh. So if your employer offers the Cigna benefit plan, you can now go through your employer to now obtain these benefits. I believe they started on February 13th. This may include gift cards to the service, one-time meal deliveries, and discounted subscriptions. So if you got Cigna, man, make sure you go look up that whole HelloFresh connection. I think we tried HelloFresh for a short minute. It was cool, really good food, but it was pretty pricey. So you had to nix that.
Yeah, I think I had a good week of that. I told you, like, there was these tacos that we had. I mean, chef kiss. It was so good. We saved the car, but we can never find ingredients again to remake it. So good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep, absolutely. All right. So also anybody who's looking to get into the healthcare field, but for whatever reason you do not have any degrees, which is perfectly fine. Everybody has different situations. I will give you the top 10 specialties that you could get hired for where you don't have to have a degree, probably just a certification. So number one, we got hearing aid specialists coming in at around 59K as far as median wage. Surgical technologists, 55K. Licensed practical and licensed vocational nurse, 54K. Massage therapist, 49K. Paramedic, 49K. Medical records technician, 47K. Dental assistant, 44K. Optician, 39K. Ophthalmic medical technician, 38K. And phlebotomist, 38K. Now, I know some of those numbers you're like, Sean, how the hell am I supposed to pay rent in New York? But
30.
if you're just trying to get your foot in the door,
If you need a second job, the ones at the bottom.
you know what I'm saying? If you just try to get your foot in the door in a healthcare institution and make strides towards obtaining your degree or strides towards obtaining a higher certification, this at least puts you in the medical field, gets you familiar with the terminology, make the connections with the people who make the power decisions, and then you take it from there, man. I started as a simple emergency room registrar. You know what I mean? And now I'm making my moves. So if I can do it, anybody can.
Just like that. Just like that.
Yes, sir. All right. Let me get back over here. So now, what everybody is here for, first, we're just going to check in over on IG. We got Tanya in the building, SKL, Mrs. Lee still hanging out, High Life. A Doobie was good, my brother. Over on YouTube, I know we got CC hanging out. I think we still got Faye with us. If you're hanging on YouTube, let us know, man. I think Jeff is still with us. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight from whatever platform, wherever you are in the world. This is the FCP Dad series, man. Every third Wednesday, me and my guy Ken Katnick get together and we talk about this thing called being a dad.
Shit's crazy, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So this series, this episode today, man, mama's baby, papa's crazy, papa's maybe. We're gonna have some fun with this episode, but we're also going to get real because we know there's a whole other side to this dad thing. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is the stigma around the absentee father. Now, Kenny, I'm gonna let you start this off, man. Like when we talk about this, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Like it's something that was always just around and relevant. It just felt like it always adapted to you. And I had my father there. Even had a stepdad there. You know what I mean? Shouts to compare. But like just you always felt like everybody didn't know. Because there's always people who were just missing that father figure at the house. You hung out with him a lot, you know what I'm saying? You did things, but you felt the kids that had the father, not that they had a better head on their shoulders, because that's not what it was needed, but they carried themselves a little different for some reason. I can't really put a finger on it, but there's a different aura around them as far as confidence, as far as idea sets, just ways you would do things outside. Like you kind of was able to pick apart who was and you could tell who wasn't. If that made any sense to you. Like, can you recall when you was younger, like how many of your friends had fathers at the house?
It was a mix. It was a mix. Some of them, you know, were being raised by single moms, being raised by either their grandparents or something like that. And then some of them did have the father around, whether it was like a full-on presence, like you saw them picking them up from school, or you know, they were just, you know, around at certain times, you know what I mean? But it always, you know, stuck in my head that to your point, it was something that exists that you know there were people who their fathers weren't around, and you know it makes you start to think about what are the potential impacts of that and what that even does for us men growing up and what that does for ladies, knowing that this is a possibility. And in no way on this show do we try to speak for women, so we always leave these lines open for a future show for anybody to come on and always talk about, you know, their perspectives, as we did when we had Orlando on, and as we'll continue to do.
Yeah. So, on my end, I think yeah, it was more of a 50-50. Like I do feel like I had more fun with my friends who didn't have fathers at the house, as far as doing dumb kid shit. Like you know what I'm saying. But it was when it was an organized event or needing a team to go do something for some reason. I ended up being with a lot of my friends who happened to have fathers that I knew of that we all spoke about often, like going to play youth football or all going to the park at the same exact time. You know what I mean? Just to have a good basketball game and little things like that. But when it was just doing dumb shit like all of those friends without the father figure, like I had a lot more fun with it. It was weird. Like I don't know why that was, and I don't know why I felt I had more fun with them, but it was more dangerous shit. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I want to go play manhunt on top of the hill. Like, man, fun.
Yeah.
A lot of friends with fathers like, nah, my pops and women going out there. I'm like, damn. All right, Joe. Yeah, it was real 50-50 though. But I'm happy I was able to pick and choose because I had both. So
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, there's really something that's just different about when it comes from a dad. Um, of course, never to knock the ladies, man, but there's just something about the delivery that I got from my father whenever he was talking to me about life, whether it was a discipline situation, whether it was just you need to look out for this type situation. It resonates differently when it comes from your dad, and even if it's a stepdad, because it's just that person. I just think it's the tone from the man, the relationship, something resonates completely different.
absolutely, I agree. I agree. Um, as time went on, go from child to teenager to young adult to man now. Do you feel the stigma of absentee fathers lives louder on the media, Hollywood lens of things, or do you still feel it's still very current and like prevalent in today's times?
I think it's very current, man. I think it's for some people it's a little more visible. So from to your question exactly, from the media standpoint, I mean the media is always going to give you what they feel is within your algorithm. So if you're out there looking for fatherly tips, it's going to give you the most positive videos in the world. If you are, mad at men, or you dislike your father for not being a part of your life, it's going to feed you all the negative stuff in the world about, how dads are not there, and what's happening to the kids that they leave behind and the women they leave behind. But for people who are actually living through that, I can't imagine how it is for them, because it's all kinds of questions, right? Was I not enough? What made you not want to be here? And then there's the other slight way where they're there, they're just not involved. You know what I mean? It's like I know my dad, I know he's around, but when certain activities are happening or when certain things need to get done, it's like, where is this dude? So it's a total mix right now. What about you?
It's funny. Like the early parts of my life, like my father was there, but mom and dad went their way. Then I always felt like I had like a remote dad. It was like he was available, like his number was always active, like like how when you work from home from work, like your boss don't bother you all the time, but you could call in, you could call him if there's a real issue, you solve it, and you both move on with your day. Like we know each other's roles, each other's positions in that regard. But there was no discipline because it wasn't an everyday thing. It felt like, you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't take any disciplinary words with other than but a grain of salt. You know what I mean. So it was kind of that connected issue on my end. So I didn't really have to go through that. It was weird.
Yeah. And that's a great point. I think we're gonna dive into that a little bit later in this conversation, because um as we continue, y'all, we're gonna start to talk about some of the conversations people should or maybe probably already had about their perspective on raising kids, before they actually have them. I mean, if you're lucky enough to have those conversations before you pop up like, oh, yo, I think we're pregnant, it can go one or two ways, man. So, uh, pre-kid, did you and your wife ever talk about your perspectives on raising children?
Um, as you know me, I'm a very judgy individual. So before kids was even a thing, like I was scoping the family out, making sure there was no crazies. Like you know what I mean, making sure there's nothing I need to look out for. Like like your older cousin always got the knife on him. Interesting. Like you know what I mean. I was looking out for little things like that, but there was never no red flags where I felt how she was raised would put any harm's way or be extremely outside the box of where I might have been thinking as far as us having our own kids. So I never asked those questions because I trusted the family. I trusted her upbringing or who she brought me around anyway in the first few years. So we never really got to have that conversation, honestly.
Mm,
Pretty of course.
okay.
How about
Yeah.
you? Yes, I,
Yeah.
did you?
We was too busy loving on each other. I don't think we were even thinking about that. I think we just thought it was just going to be vacations and nights eating and drinking and just chilling until we decide that we want to have kids, but never really a sit down about perspectives and stuff like that. Um, But I do see we got a question on IG from High Life. Is it
Mhm.
better to have had a dad and lose, or never to have had one at all?
I, any fragment of having one is better than not having at all, unfortunately. So whatever capacity that could have come in, whether time was cut short one way or the other, it's always best to have experiences in some capacity, in my opinion, anyway, versus just never knowing what you could have or would have had if it was there. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
what if would drive you even crazier, I think, than you being upset your whole life that you lost it.
Okay.
How about you? What's your thoughts?
No, I agree. I agree, man. I'm glad that I've always had my dad. I had my dad. I mean, I would not want to go through a situation where I didn't have my dad around. I can only
Hmm.
imagine how tough that would have been. And it could be because I had him. You know what I'm saying? So my perspective is always going to be biased because I did have my dad around. So if you're
Hmm.
going to ask me, which one would be, for lack of better words, better, I'm
Yeah,
going to say having the dad around just because I know what it felt like.
facts, facts. Lynn says she's disagree. I'm not sure what she disagrees on. Give me details, Lynn, please.
Or
Um, I challenge that with you not having a whole and a question. Facts. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you hate to have that question that you can ask, but they're never around to ask versus you knowing that person is no longer present, so it can't be asked. You know what I mean?
right.
Okay.
Yeah,
High life always got the gems. She always got the gems.
definitely, definitely. Um, all right. So if we're talking about raising kids, now we already were talking about what we saw as far as the father figures when we were growing up. How much of raising a kid was based off of the way you were raised?
That's fine. It kind of worked in the opposite because like don't get me wrong, in today's time, I have a pretty good, I say great relationship with my dad now, but shit, 12 years ago when my first kid was born, and the conversations were kind of far and few. I was more so on a like a reverse path of it. Like I'm gonna make sure I didn't do what that did to make sure my situation was different with mine. You know what I mean? So me not having being in that cluster or nucleus that I wanted to be in, I wanted to make sure I provided that for mine. You know what I mean? If that made any sense. Me learning what I didn't want helped me figure out what to do. If that makes sense. You know what I mean? It was a
Yeah.
weird way of making sense.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just like, if you saw somebody could put their hand over the stove and they got burned, I'm not doing that
Yeah.
shit. That doesn't work.
That's like, how does that? You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but
Yeah,
how about you? How do you feel the way you was raised help you raise your child today?
absolutely. Similar to you, there's pieces that I took that I felt good about, and there's pieces that I didn't want to introduce at all. But the funny thing about it, as you go through the process, you start to figure out some of the pieces you thought would work ain't gonna work for this kid, and you got to remix that. But it's the love and the fact that wanting to be that father figure, wanting to be there, wanting to grow with my child. It's helped me refine a lot of the stuff that I learned when I was being raised. And as you mentioned, today's time is completely different from when we were kids. So now some of the stuff that we think is going to get through to them really isn't. Like we have to catch up with how they receive information, but also find a foundation to teach them how to be a respectable person in this world.
Hmm, okay, okay. And to kind of piggyback that, as far as taking the way you was raised and being able to implement that into your own child, do you feel you had any outside influences that was positive or negative roles in that light as a parent you are today?
Oh, absolutely. I I know people like to joke around about, you can't believe everything you see on TV, but there's an idea in what they're trying to create on TV. And I know I can't replicate, what I'm saying, the father from Family Matters, but there were moments where, he's there for his kids in a way where my father probably never had to be there for me, or I never saw somebody have to be there for a kid. And
Mhm.
learning how to step up in those moments, and what's probably the best thing to say or do. Of course, that comes from time and growing up, but it's just the idea of knowing that if I ever am presented with this situation, here's a potential option. Now, bringing it back to real life, I mean, we can fast forward it almost till about, late teens. I always give much props to Mr. Pinero. Just watching the way that he handled his household, how he handled moving through life, that was definitely something that I wanted to be able to pass on to my kids. Because when you see
Mhm.
somebody doing such a really good job with their kids, you're like, all right, this has to be something good that I can utilize as well. And it's just a toolkit that you create as your dad, man. You see what everybody else does, you figure out how it works for you. You don't want to be too much like anybody, but no need to reinvent the wheel.
That's a fact. You ain't got the time to anyway. That's a fact.
Mhm.
On my side, as far as outside influence that just wasn't in the home, honestly, I think Uncle Kareem. He was always just someone that I kind of envied as far as just having it all together all the time. And you
Mhm.
know what I mean? It was just something I kind of strive for in my personal life because, and he was always like as serious as he was always happy. If that made any sense. I mean, he just had that balance. You know what I mean? He has
Yeah.
that balance. But he might have been like the strongest outside influence, like outside of my actual, outside of Ramal, like people in the house as far as an influence of who I am today, as far as a parent. That's for sure.
Gotcha.
Oh, and Lynn, she clarified for me earlier. She says she'd rather not have one in her life than have one to lose him, or have one that is as effed up. Okay, disappointment is worse than wondering why I didn't have one. All right, all right. To not have is better to not have lost in that sense. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I respect. I respect.
Yeah, we all have our perspectives. So that's the beauty about FCP. We all bring our perspectives here and we could talk about it, right? And we accept each other no matter what. So yeah, that's definitely good to know. Thank you for sharing that, Lynn. So you said the conversation with Jen really, I guess, really didn't need to happen, or really wasn't a requisite at the time. Because I was at this point gonna say, like, did it go smooth? Did it go contentious? um, so for me, in my eyes, if me and my wife would have had that conversation in the beginning, I think it would have went smooth just because we were just so infatuated with each other that, we would have just been like, you like it, I love it, whatever. Like, let's get back to this love thing, like I can see it just going that fine. Then
On my side, like I think I would have not. I don't want to say cave. I ain't no bitch, but it's like. But I think I would have followed her lead if, as far as how that conversation would go, especially if it's pre-kid. It's like I can't be. I'm arguing over milk that hasn't even spilled yet. Like you know what I mean? Like what are we really gonna argue about at this point in time? You know what I mean? So I think I kind of would have just agreed in the early stages because I had no real. I felt like hey, you might have more experience. You had them both here your whole life. Great.
yeah,
So. All right, I'll take it with a grain of salt. Sounds like a good plan. We'll put it in the old book and pencil, and if we got to open this book one day, we'll read it. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I definitely would have conceded. Just went with the flow.
So, question for you, and now I'm getting you off guard. Question for you and anybody listening right now: do you think people should talk about kids before getting too deep in a relationship?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Like imagine you a year too deep, and you'd be like, "Yo, what you want your first kid to be?" And he's like, and they go, "Kids? I don't want any kids." It's like, like we've been together for 2 years. You didn't even. She's like, "You never asked me." It's like, he said, "But you're so good with your nieces and nephews." He's like, "Yeah, because I could give them back." Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't want to find that out. Now everything is up in the air. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
it's weird. It's a fine line though, right? You don't want to bring up kids too soon and look crazy. You know, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to wait too long when you got time vested. So I do believe you should bring it up to some extent, but read the room. Read the room as well.
very true. Very true. I agree. I think that conversation is definitely up there. it should definitely be within maybe that first. I'll I'll say as far as it should probably be within the first 6 months, man. If
Yeah,
you
yeah,
feel
for
like
sure.
this person is like real, like y'all, you gave him a draw, like
Yeah,
you give him a draw, you need to start talking about kids, fam. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
Right. So this your second toothbrush? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I use that one just for the tongue. So yeah, we gotta talk. we gotta, yeah, we got a scraper. Yeah, we gotta talk.
That's a
You know?
fact. That's a fact. All right, man. So now let's have some fun, man. Post kid. This is when it gets real. This is when, you know what I mean, you go below the belt. The lines have been skewed. And it's like we keeping score. We trying to win every time we talk about something, right? Let's rewind it back to your firstborn, because I know you were a 3-time champion out here with these kids. You know
Felon.
um what is your view on raising kids at this moment, let's say once your first kid arrives?
um, you gotta be dad. You gotta be strict. No should be very common in your language. You know what I'm saying? Don't give up nothing for free. Make sure they work for everything they got. You know what I mean? And that's why I just felt that was the way it had to be, especially from a father's perspective. You got to be tough. You know what I mean? Duh, you're the dad. But that shit changed like instantly. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I mean? My first child was a girl, so like I was just mush, and I've been mush since. It's like it's a concrete mixture, but it's just way too much water, bro. It's like yeah, like you got the ability to get tough. That ain't true. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's where I'm at. Like, you know, there's too much water in my mixture. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's where I was, and that's where I am now. Unfortunately, still much.
Okay, and that was gonna be my follow-up, right? Did it change, from kid to kid? But it sounds like, nah, man, I'm still mush out here.
Like, you know, but like, and even when I have times of being like the tough, I feel like I need to exert that energy of being the dad. I get the shoulder tap, like, calm down, babe. I'm like, but I'm living this guy. I'm living this guy. He's like, just count to 10 and go take a walk. I'm like, but I didn't even think I was there yet. I haven't even
Yo,
got to level 10. You talking like I'm at level 20. So
yo, I
you
hate
know,
the unnecessary referee shit. I swear I do, because I'll be like,
and
yeah, I be feeling just like you. I'll be like, yo, I haven't even gotten to mad mode. Like, I'm really just trying to deliver a point right now. And here you come with the blowing the whistle, like, it's
the favorite one is like, favorite what? Like, yo, I barely touched him.
yo, man, I'm LeBron in Boston. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is crazy. Oh man, like that shit. Yeah, even High Life said it, bro. That referee thing is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, micromanaging really have you start like contemplating things. Like, you know
Yep.
what I'm saying? Like, if you're gonna do it this way, you don't want to just do it. It's like, nah, because now you're not there. You're not a participant. It's like, I tried to remember.
Yeah.
Now we're here because I just got policed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because
you know,
and to exactly to Kenny's point, like listen, ladies, we know y'all are there to keep the peace until y'all peace is disturbed. But we know y'all are there to keep the peace, right? But in our eyes, it looks as if you're clipping our legs from under us every time you interject and say, babe, I think you need to calm down. Now, granted, there are times where we get it. Like, we were probably already there and there was nothing good that was going to happen after that point, right? But
yep.
there are some times where I feel like y'all probably jump in there a little too early. It's like a UFC fight and the fighter's still in it, but it's like, oh no, he's done. We need to end it. Like,
I think he took another hit or two, but
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had my hand up, baby. I was still conscious. Like,
I was protecting my face.
yeah, because then kids they learn how to play that. They know that, all right, at some point mom's gonna kick in, so I'm just gonna ride this out until the referee comes in and stops the fight. Like, yeah, man, it's
But
crazy.
but for you, my good man, what was your view on raising kids at this very moment, as far as when you're right before Darius was born, or right when he was?
Mhm. Oh, for me, it was definitely going to be cleanliness. You know what I mean? He was definitely going to be one of those kids that, just monitored his appearance, kept his room clean, understood manners when he walked into people's house, saying hi to people, how to shake hands, eye contact. A lot of the stuff that, my father instilled in me, man, just respect, communication. And, as he got older, I think it was really just going to be about him having some sort of understanding about finances. I mean, I don't know why I thought my 1 day old son had to worry about life insurance already, but that was something that I had to start thinking about for him. You know what I mean? So,
Early
um, yeah. So if I already got to start thinking about life insurance for my kid and he's a day old, then once he can talk and he can read, then it's time to start teaching him about some more stuff. So yeah, that's how it started.
I was in today's time.
In today's time, he's slowly learning about the cleanliness. This is definitely a work in progress. He's the most polite kid you'll ever meet. If anybody has ever met my son, you already know that. The finances part is rough. I'm trying to use the Roblox interest as a baseline to teach him about finances since he's interested in Roblox. So yeah, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Let's see, Lynn. Oh, Lynn said, I think when we jump in, it's because men can't realize how or what you say can hurt and stick with a child. So we jump in because we don't want that long-term hurt on our kids. And even though you men don't do it in a negative way, it may come out that way. So we just try and make the situation not a bad one long term.
Feels like you're projecting, but okay. All right. I see the vision now.
Yeah,
You're looking out for the youth. Looking out for the youth, and I respect that. I respect
yeah,
that.
yeah. I see the vision. I definitely see the vision.
Vision.
All right. So as we roll on, can you recall a significant moment of conflict when it came to a particular situation with any of your kids?
Hmm.
And when I say that, I mean like between you and the missus on a particular situation.
Um, it was too. I think I got an answer for every kid, but for Savannah, my first child, there was two instances specifically. Like night one, like the first few house, we spoke about this honestly in one of the other Fatherhood series episodes. But one of the first night actually home, no hospital, she just cried and cried and cried. And I looked dead at Jen. I was like, "Is this what being a parent is?" I'm like, "Is this why my dad left?" Like, I started really thinking about whole kinds of other shit. I'm like, "This is why he left." You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just this ain't. I didn't sign up for this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but she convinced me. Like, no, it's like the baby's just a little colicky. We gotta do this, gotta do that. You know, 12 years later, thank God. But like at the very moment, though, I was just like, she's gonna be a single mom. That's crazy. You know what I mean? It was like it was really in the back of my head. I was just like, I don't know if this is. But another conflict that we had was the breastfeeding thing, like because Jen was like, oh no, it's better milk for the baby. I'm like, that's cool. Like, what I mean, put it in a bottle so we have an exact amount and we know what the kid's getting. We're like, yeah, but it's best sometimes just taking it straight from the tip. I'm like, that's cool, but you don't got to gauge on that thing, so we don't really know how much the baby ate, if the baby's still hungry. Like, we was having this conversation for a while. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and I was just getting frustrated. And she's just like, no, this is the right thing to do. I'm like, I get it. I've seen the movies. But we have no control on what's happening. Like, you can't just sit here and be a milk machine all day for this. You know what I mean? Like, something has to give. Like, you know what I mean? So, after a lot of talks, like, she finally just gave in. And, you know what I mean? We just switched to the formula, like, ounces. Like, I was like, thank God. You know what I mean? Now we know how much she's drinking. You know what I mean? But I think I faked won that conversation. It took some time.
It took some time. I got you. All right.
Did you recall a significant conflict on your side?
I definitely two. The first one was when he was sleeping. and I know I've mentioned this before, but it was very significant because it was there was actually one time where it was me against like her family because everybody came in, he was sleeping in my arms. And I don't mind people like, hey, what I'm saying? Like they, looking at the baby, whatever the case may be. But then the ask was for me to let somebody else hold him so I could start building something. And in that moment, like call me possessive, call me, whatever. I was a first time father, and in my mind, my son is sleeping, he's in my arms. I'm good. I got him. I don't need nobody else to hold him. He's gonna be fine. When he wakes up, then y'all can hold him. When I tell you, brother, like maybe like 2 minutes after that, there was mad low Spanish in the kitchen, and I knew it was about me. I knew it was about me. They couldn't even hide it good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm there, I'm holding him, sitting there, I'm watching TV, man. And I remember like yesterday, Shay coming over trying to whisper to me, and I'm like, after all that low Spanish, now you want to come and talk to me? Like, nah, yo, like, nah, nobody's holding this nigga. Matter of fact, we could leave if we want to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was standing on business at that point, man. I was over it. But cooler heads did prevail because her aunt at the time, her aunt through marriage came over to me, and she was just like, listen, I know they can be a bit much, but that let them hold the baby. It's gonna be fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll make you a drink. You know what I'm saying? We'll put on whatever you want to watch. You build, you know what I'm saying, the playpen or whatever, so that we could put him in there. He can rest with everything, and then we could all have a good time. So after that, I said, took that deep breath of male pride, you know what I mean? And I did, I let him go, but it felt like I was letting my heart go. Like I was just like, I felt like I lost, but I know I didn't. But in my mind, I lost. I still feel like I lost to this day, but
So now that I look back, to chime in right on that, High Life said, the love language of most men is respect. Can make it seem like distracting the man in front of the kids. A man's got to maintain that stature, especially in front of the boys. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that one.
yeah.
Agree with that one.
Now, the second one is the fight I'm still fighting to this day. And I feel like I'm my son's lawyer in this case because, and this is just my personal view, people. I know some of you may not agree. I don't feel like we should force kids to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like going to grandma's house, going to birthday parties, going to this function, going to that. I don't feel like we should force kids to do that. It could be me projecting on some of the places I was forced to go to. But I just feel like there's times where I know my son does not want to do this. And my wife always makes it like, but this is for Darius. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's for you. And you want to bring him. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. I'd rather you say, I want to go and I'm bringing my son than say, this is for that. Don't make it. She was using this line when he was like 2 years old, fam. At this point, this man had sounds. He didn't have words, he had sounds. So how do you know what he wants to do? Right now, you give him a piece of paper and he thinks it's the greatest thing in the world. How do you know he wants to go all the way over here? So still to this day, we do go back and forth in certain situations. Sometimes I know it's not my time to fight. It's my time to bow out. But then sometimes I really stand for it because I'm just like, he really, you can see in his face, he does not want to do this thing. And if I felt like he's like built up some credits, he's done this thing a couple of times over the last couple of months. Maybe he doesn't want to go this side. When Darius is excited about what he's doing. Yeah, man. So yeah.
It's funny. I think because I was forced to go places as a kid, I'm forcing my kids to go places now. It's like more like a cycle of life. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I wanted to be in church every Sunday. You going with grandmas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even be asking. Yeah, I'm like, nah, we out. But I don't want to go. You thought this was one of those I got choices conversations. Nah, get your sneakers and we out. Like, you know what I mean? That's how I do it. I don't, Yeah, nah, if we going, we going. There ain't no options. You know, and this is a terrible projecting, but it's because I didn't have the choice as a kid. Like I don't even think I was shit. I don't think I was ever asked a question when I got older. Like, hey, you want to go? And I was like, yo, we're going to ABC. It's like
Yeah.
I had things to do. You do it when you get back. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm just like time to vent. Like you know what I mean? Like there was no negotiation. I had to go because I had to go. So yeah,
Mhm.
I kind of I 10 toes that one. When I
Yeah.
when it's a family thing, we all going. Sorry,
So it's a family
sorry,
thing. We all go. Yeah. No.
sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, there's times where I understand this ain't the time. You know what I mean? And to your point, he does need to get out of the iPad, go do what he got to do. But then, there's times where I'm just like, you can do this activity by yourself, baby girl. Like you
Yeah.
don't need him. You don't need me. You can do this. Like it's okay.
It's some events you got to get the pass on. You got to get the pass on.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Significant moment of understanding. I mean, we've gone through, of course, the significant moment of conflict. What was a time where it was really one of those like either a come to Jesus moment for you, or maybe one of the most impactful let's agree to disagrees of the Nelson history?
Understanding. I think might have been pretty recent. Like when my oldest was in 6th grade. You know, 6th grade girls. I learned last year are very catty. You know what I'm saying? And I, growing up, I understood. You know, girls can be catty at times. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was more high school. Like you know, what I mean, just older versions of this. And it's like no, they're experiencing this now. So the way my wife was approaching things, as far as my oldest dealing with these other catty females, and was vastly different. You know what I'm saying? And it was like we both had to have this moment of understanding. Like, yo, we need you to understand that you can't be no punk, but we need you to understand that you can't be out there punking people neither. You know what I'm saying? And that weird balance conversation, time having to just pass, and that band-aid having to get ripped off over and over and over. To understand to stand on your 10 toes, but not too firm. Like, trying to teach that is rough. So
Mhm.
that moment of it really has to be a compromise on how we do this because the way we want to do it isn't the way you're supposed to do it. So we
Right.
got to show you how it needs to be done because it's the actual right way that it needs to be done. So
Mhm.
we kind of have to retool our way of thinking and growing up, making sure because the kids snitches. If they come into school, it's like my mom said punch you in the face on sight. So guess what? You know what I mean? And we just trying to avoid this same conversation happening in the principal's office after the fact. Like your daughter, you said that you gave her the permission to, and, and quote this on site. Is this what you said? And you're like, yeah, I said that. So now you got, you know what I mean? You don't want to go down that block. But
Mhm.
I think that was a real good moment of I think both me and my wife having to come to an understanding on what we want is not the way it needs to be, but us teaching is the way it has to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrible.
Um, I think on my side, I had to come to the understanding that as upset as I can be about a situation or at someone, I can't expect her and Darius to follow suit. It's the most pettiest shit in the world. Like if I'm not feeling my aunt right now, I don't want nobody to go see that. Like I feel like
Nobody talks to us.
like, but it's her 80th birthday. I don't care. We're not going. Like, you know what I mean?
Email.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if she need milk. We ain't got it. Meanwhile, there's like 2 gallons in the fridge.
So we don't even need all this.
But I have to say when it comes to my son and him being around people and him being, going to events, I can't let how I may feel about things impact his participation. That was a hell of a growth thing for me because it was just like, learning how to manage my emotions, learning how to manage being his dad and showing him that I can separate the two. That was really big as far as understanding that part. Um, and it's still a work in progress. You know, sometimes I'm like, well, fuck it, y'all go, I ain't going.
And that's on that.
That'll be the compromise. But yeah, and then I would say the only other thing would be um understanding that there's going to be times where he's probably not going to come to both of us about something. You know, I think about a year or two ago, he came and he told me something, and you know, she was a little bit hurt because she felt that um it was something that he could have came to her about too, and they had to have their own little conversation about that. But I think, you know, once I spoke to him and said, listen, he's going to have these phases in his life where he may come to you, he may come to me, he may go to Kenny. You know what I'm saying? Like he may go to whoever he feels like in that moment he wants to reveal whatever it is. And we just got to take it as, you know, we know we know that he knows that we love him. We know that he knows that he can tell us anything, but the way that resonates with kids sometimes, I mean, they're gonna find their comfort person in certain times, and you know.
I had to backtrack. I highlight dropped a gem on us. He uses the three T's method for the kids. He goes, the first one's tell them stop. Then you tell the teacher. Then you tear that ass up. And hey, you got the third T. I guess I meant business. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, I might have to implement that into my own personal repertoire. Like,
Yeah.
three T.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Um, so now you hit a stalemate on a decision, right? Is whatever it is you're talking about. Let's say you're talking about allowing them to go to a certain party, picking a certain school or a sport. Who usually wins?
Whichever kid says but blank said, that person wins. Um, if I'm in the kitchen and Kenny's going to the pantry, she's going for the two. I'm like, yo, it's like your second one. What are you doing? So, oh, but mommy's not gonna have one. I'm just like, make that your last one. You know what I mean? Like, and that's usually how it goes. It's like whoever got the last word into the kid directly, unless it's like obscene, you know what I'm saying? That usually wins the battle.
Gotcha. In my house, my wife always wins. And I've noticed this because even if I win, I don't get the
Still,
best Mrs. Lee if possible. Because now, you know what I'm saying, it's just not going in my favor. And then I realize shit, I did all
long,
that.
long game now at this point. Like, don't worry about tonight, my brother. Worry about this weekend. Worry about next month. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
gotta let this one go. You gotta, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because either way, we're gonna end up in the same bed, and she gonna be laying there, and I'm gonna be like, "Shit, I fucked up."
Yeah. Look on there. You give her a whole back. All right. Yes, I guess that's where we at tonight. Yeah, you know what? You know what the whole back.
Mhm. Hell yeah,
Um,
man. So I got two really good ones before we close out this topic, man. Do you feel like you could raise your kids by yourself?
takes a village. Not even. I wasn't even. Not even contemplating it. No, 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 not in a little bit. I can't do hair. Like, I be struggling.
At least I can't do
Can't do
that.
hair. Like, I'm like, my move is grab the hat. Like, you know what I mean? And girls can't go through that. You know what I'm saying? If I had a
Mhm.
couple kids, like a couple boys, then we could rough it out. You know what I mean? Mom via phone call. You know what I mean? For a little bit. But it's like, but nah, I can't. With the girls, I wouldn't even. Can't even fathom. Nope. Not even.
For me personally, bro, honestly, I gotta say, I I thought I could. Like there were times where I was like, man,
Dude, it's your soul, man.
you know, I started looking at that 18% hard.
Oh man,
Um,
killing
but
this time. Three.
but she she means too much to us. She means too much. So I gotta give her that respect. She does the little things that I don't see. Um, and then the things that I do see, but I don't realize how much work goes into it. And I gotta send shout outs to the single mothers and fathers that I do know and the struggles that they face trying to raise kids.
Correct. Correct.
All those things put together, I know. I would not be able to do it, and I wouldn't want to do it, bro. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah. People in the
But
chat. Yeah, I'll go with people in the chat. Some agreeing, some not agreeing, but I think the consensus is it could be done if that's the path you need to go on. You know what I mean? But if it's a choice, let's try not to choose it. So, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
all right, all
absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
all right. You ready? Oh shit.
Yeah. Um. So the next question I got for you, bro.
Mhm.
Son grows up. Now, I mean, he's out here ripping and running. Gets a girl pregnant. Comes to you, says, "Dad, I ain't dealing with this shit, man." What's the first thing he's saying to him?
It's like you ain't listened to me all these years. Now you gotta listen to me, nigga, because you fucked up. Really, you gotta fuck up. I mean, we let you slide. Like you wasn't listening. All right, we should let you go. But you not listening put you in a situation, and now it's where you are. You gotta stand up and be that person, whether you want to or not. Ah, yeah, it's a rude awakening for everybody, but you gotta let them know that I know how you feel, but it's not gonna work the way you think it's gonna work. Unfortunately, as far as you just like I don't want this shit no more.
Word.
That's
It's
a
not
wild,
like you.
that's a wild way to end that whole sentence.
Yeah, yeah. Like, it's not like you tried on a pair of sneakers, like, I don't like the way these look.
I'm not really into these anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, man. That would be tough for me, man. I mean, the first thing I would tell them is, that's not a lead thing. You know what I'm saying? That is not what we do in the slightest. And you know what I mean? Responsibility to everything that you just said. Your whole life, I've always taught you, enjoy your youth. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably play the clip from what you said on Nola's. You know what I'm saying? Get your credit score up, keep your debt down, go to the gym, all that good stuff. So, and then the sad part is I don't want. I would probably put him in the hurt locker and be like, "Oh, you don't feel that way? You're gonna have to say this in front of me, your Dino, your Uncle Ramel." Like,
You gotta stand all on this.
yeah, you're gonna have to stand on this business in front of all of the male figures in your life, and I want you to look them in the eye and tell them that you about to do this shit. And I think he would definitely reconsider at that point.
Lynn brought up a good point in the chat. She says, "My first thing would be, what is she saying?"
Yeah, CC said, "Do she want to keep it?"
These are real questions. These are real questions. But yeah, I think our kids, if they came to us, it might be a situation where it's like, yeah, my hand is forced at this point. So this is why I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
I would love that come here post game, but we in the thick of it. We're in the middle of it. So I think you should know.
Definitely, man. Oh man. All right. Well, listen, that dad series, man. This stuff is getting deep, bro.
Yeah, mama's babies, papa's crazy, man. I'll maybe, you know what I mean? But that's just something, man. That's a good one. It's like a high level. It's our job to ensure they don't do what we did. So yeah, you're gonna have to step up. Yeah, you have to step up for sure. But we definitely got to know what she said, though.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got to know what she said. But yeah, man. Yeah, this is good, man. I think next up, we'll be going into March, and it will be Women's History Month. So we're gonna have to have a good twist for this one, man.
Okay.
But make sure y'all tune in every third Wednesday. Definitely will be the dad series. Before we close out, Just some quick movies and music that we want to put y'all on to. And I'll just run off real quick, starting with Netflix. The Tourist. It's actually a series, The Tourist. It features the male lead from what is it, 50 Shades of Grey. Pretty interesting flick, man. Just quick synopsis. You know what I mean? In the beginning of the show, he loses his memory, and then he goes through all of this wild shit trying to figure out who the hell he is. And it just takes you down this crazy, crazy ass journey. And it looks like they're already working on part two. So if you're currently watching it or you haven't watched it, check it out, man. Enjoy it. At some point, Kenny will hopefully watch it in 2025, and then we can talk about it.
On the watch list, man.
Oh man. Players. This was actually a really good movie. It actually features I believe Marlon. Oh, is it Marlon? I forgot the Wayans brother, but it features his son as an actual romantic lead. It's actually a pretty good movie. Basically, they do whatever they need to do as far as running strategic plays to help their friends hook up. And it's the typical, I found someone that's not just a hookup, want it to be real. So now they go through all of this crazy fun stuff, all leading up to a really good ending. So I think y'all should check that out, Players. That's also on Netflix. Damon's son, yes. Thank you. I knew I could count on CC, man. Thank you. The Bodyguard.
He said Damon's. The boy has a name.
So that wasn't a name. The Bodyguard. This was actually another good movie. Actually follows this bodyguard as he's guarding a significant political figure, and it takes you on a wild journey of him going through PTSD from being in the army, and really just going through some really tumultuous events. So if y'all haven't checked that out, or you like a good action thriller suspense, that's good. New episodes for Love is Blind are out now. As soon as I get off here, that's what I'm gonna go watch, because I want to catch up on the spice from the new couples. Any of my Love is Blind fans, say what's up in the chat, man. Let me know if you've seen it already. Is it looking good so far? Can I skip it and wait for Friday? Let me know, because my sleep is dear to me, y'all.
I got a show.
What's up?
I don't get to watch it. I got one. I did see the Vince Staples show over on Netflix. A lot of funny moments throughout the show, but I don't say you can skip it, but it's like a long movie if you catch it all back to back to back. It's like 6 episodes, like 20 to 30 minutes each. But he had a lot of funny moments in the show. But it was really just a show about nothing. Like, if that makes any sense. It was it's the white rapper. What's his name? Dave. I feel like it's like a black version of that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. Long story short, but his was funny. His was really fun. He had a lot of good jokes in it.
All right, good. I definitely gotta check that out. And then take us over to music, brother.
Oh, this was news to me. I am part of the Beehive. I'm a Beyonce fan from way back, even when she's with the group. We won't say their name no more because we moved on. But she ended up earning her highest debut. Her first number one is a debut with the country song she did, Texas Hold'em. I didn't know she never debuted at number one before. Like, she's got mad number ones, but she's never debuted at number one, it seems like. So, and she's also the first Black female to debut number one on a hot country songs chart. So shouts to B for that. I guess she said, listen, you're not going to give me my hour of the year. I'm taking everything. Like, you know what I'm and we spoke about it quickly in episode 70, but Kanye, man, him and Ty Dolla, they caught the number one album this week on Billboard with Vultures. It's a damn good album still. So yeah, man, Kanye doing it, Beyonce doing it. Yeah, music in the news, man. Music in the news.
Nice, man. And I see everybody saying put the watch list in the chat. I will definitely
I got you.
Yeah, right now. Kenny's gonna do it right now. We got y'all. All right, man. Listen, as always, we appreciate all y'all Episodes 70 and 69 are out right now. Number 69, Real Relationship. We took the segment that we did on here, packaged it as an episode. We appreciate everybody who's supporting that. Episode 70, man, love costs everything. When I tell you, Kenny and I really put our hearts into that one. You definitely want to check it out if you really got that story of when you first met somebody, everything that you went through, and now y'all thrive and now y'all succeed and the love has grown. Or even if you're trying to figure out what's the different journeys that people take to get to their love, man, make sure y'all go check out episode 70. Make sure y'all leave a comment, like, share, most of all, subscribe, because we keep putting out this content, man, and we appreciate all the support. Help this channel grow. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, we're here every Wednesday if you're new to us. And every third Wednesday, we have the dad series, man. We'll see next time. Maybe we'll bring some guests on here, some other dads to talk about some things. You know what I mean? And of course, at some point, we will bring the ladies in because we love their perspective. And, you know, we like to make it spicy on this channel, man.
Make it spicy. Make it spicy. Make it spicy.
Any other thoughts, brother?
Listen, man, middle of the month. I mean, shit, end of the month almost now. February short. But, yeah, man, still Black History Month. Go learn something. And Lynn talking about sooner than later. Man, listen. But
Lynn, we ain't even go there tonight, Lynn.
not even go to that block. But yeah, man, some other week. Try to get through the rest of it. It's been slow. If you're still off this week, fuck you personally. But yeah, man, to the weekend.
Yeah, man. Oh, big shout outs. Big game coming this Friday from Miss Kennedy, man. You know what I'm saying? Family will be in the building. Make sure y'all send most love to her. You know what I'm saying? 2 games. I'm just speaking it into existence, man. She bring the chip home, man. You gotta bring the chip home.
We already got the trophies made, so she got to bring home.
He said, "Either way, baby.
Right, either way, we champions by Saturday."
That's it. We pouring apple juice in the trophy, man. It's on.
It was like a juice cup.
All right, man. Well, listen, yo, we gotta go, man. We appreciate y'all sticking around with us, man. See y'all next Wednesday. Go check out the episodes. Go check out all the content. A lot of clips up on the page right now on IG and YouTube. Show some love, man. We appreciate y'all. Have a good night.
Peace.